Hello everyone! So the time has finally come. I've been waiting to film this video for what feels like forever, but I can finally do it and set up my A5 photocard binder. Now before I get into the specifics of what I'm going to be doing, I want to give a little backstory on my history with A5 binders because I know that they're sort of like, I think like quite a trend in the collecting community lately, especially specifically the Beyond D binders for whatever reason are quite popular. For a long time, I thought that I would never really get into A5 photocard binders, mainly because I had a couple problems with them, just in terms of their suitability for my collection. One being that, I have several collections where items that are larger than A5 are a component, so obviously that's not something that's going to fit in a A5 photocard binder. And two, a couple of my collections are quite large, extensive collections for one artist, like multiple A4 binders. So transferring them to A5 would be ridiculous. It would take like 10 binders or something like, ludicrous like that. But then everything changed when I saw this binder. So this is the 2021 17 in Caratland binder, and it looks very plain on the outside. Obviously it's plain white, but the inside cover art I think is gorgeous. I think it's so pretty. I just love the colors. I don't know. I think I saw it and I just instantly knew that I had to have it immediately. And so I bought the binder fully with no plans for what I would do with it. Like I literally just didn't have any idea what I was going to put in it. I just knew I had to have it and that I would invent a reason or invent a use for it after I got it. And after getting it, I thought about it for a little while and I came up with a couple ideas. And in fact, because I came up with a couple ideas, I decided why set up one A5 photocard binder when I could set up two. So in addition to setting up this binder, I also have another binder that I will be setting up with a brand new collection that I'm starting, or rather perhaps an old collection that I'm resurrecting. More on that later. All that to say, I came around to the idea of using a couple A5 photocard binders for specific purposes in my collection. So now that I've gotten that preamble out of the way, we can get into what specifically I'm going to be doing with these binders. I'll get to the second binder and the new collection later in the video. For now, let me just talk about what I'm going to do with this binder. Since, of course, this is a 17 binder, I wanted to do something 17 related for it. And something that, I've been thinking about for a while is hold on a second. I have this like smaller, I think it's like a 1.5 inch binder that used to, I don't know, I've used it for various purposes over the years, but currently it's housing my non-album 17 collection. And my non-album 17 collection is one that I don't intend to grow tremendously. I don't, intend for it to be super large anytime soon or ever. So I thought it was a good candidate for putting in an A5 photocard binder. And also, I don't intend to get any super large items for it either. So yeah, it seems suitable. So what I'm going to be doing with this binder is transferring my non-album 17 collection into it. Now, for the sleeves, hello kitty. Oh, good Lord. Hello. So for the sleeves, I decided to use these Amifa brand 4-pocket pages. I also have their 2-pocket pages in the back for some like Kino cards and stuff. I mainly got these because I had heard from another YouTuber, Lil Tammy, that these hold standard size photocard sleeves, and I've seen a lot of other people use certain sleeves for their binders where they need Japanese size sleeves, so like smaller photocard sleeves, and I didn't want to buy new photocard sleeves, so I just went and got pocket pages that would fit standard size sleeves. So now that we've finished all of that business, we can start storing my cards in here. Now I did plan out ahead of time the order I'm going to be putting this in, and typically with my collections I enjoy storing everything chronologically, but because this collection is so small and so space constrained, I decided instead I was going to store it just by what flowed best, what looked best in the 4-pocket layout. So yes, what you are going to see is not chronological in the slightest, and that's just how it's gonna be. Hope that makes sense. Let's store some photo cards. Now, I thought it would be quite nice, given that this is a 17 binder, to start, you know, typically I only collect 3 members, but I thought it would be nice to start this binder with some cards that display the whole group. And I have these Polaroids from the Incomplete concert DVD. And so I thought it would be really nice to, you know, be able to open the binder and see the full group immediately. So I will be storing these Polaroids on the first page, and there's 4, so that fits perfectly. I love that. And these pocket pages are like double-sided. Like you can see that there's a pocket on the back side as well, but I like to see the back of cards, so I won't be storing anything there. So that'll be the first page. Then I do have one more photo card that goes with those Polaroids because it is an incomplete concert DVD card, and that is Woozy's concert DVD photo card. I didn't pull this, but I did. I traded for it, and then I think I just sold the other 2 because I think you got 3 with the DVD. But yeah, I just kept Woozy, so he will go here. And then that leaves me with 3 pockets to fill. And for this, I do have one card in this binder that is technically an album card. Yeah, it's an album card, but I don't typically collect units, but I did keep this one because I like it. It's Woozy and DK from Going 17. And so I figured this would fill the empty spot nicely. And now we're left with half a page and then a full page after, and I thought a good thing to do with this would be to put some Seasons Greetings cards. I only have 2 years of Seasons Greetings cards. I have 2021 and 2022. So since this page is Woozy themed, I thought I would put his 2021 and 2022 Seasons Greetings cards here. Oh, and that's quite nice. It's peace sign mirrored this way, and uahe mirrored this way. I didn't even plan that at all. I love that. Wow, that's really satisfying. Okay, and then since I've done 2 Seasons Greeting cards here, I can do the Seasons Greeting cards for the other 2 members that I collect. All right, perfect. So it flows into all the Seasons Greeting cards that I have. Then for no reason at all, really, I decided to put the incomplete trading cards that I have for Woozy next. Actually, I'm wondering if I should rearrange this because there are 6 incomplete trading cards. But this has got Going 17 here anyway, so and it would be nice to have the incomplete cards with the incomplete cards, or at least kind of with the incomplete cards. You know what? Put these here, and then I'll store the remaining 4 incomplete cards here. Then, so obviously I have 6, I have an idea. Sorry. I'm waffling a lot in this video, but it's because I secured, recently as a freebie, I was given 2 other Woozy cards. I'm planning ahead about where I'm going to put them in my next storing video. So, what I'm gonna do is, they are like older Woozy concert cards. So what I'm gonna do is, those will go here. Let's go ahead and put fillers here for my next storing video. And then I will put the only unfortunate thing about that is that I was all excited about the peace sign and uahe diagonal symmetry, and then I just immediately decided to ruin it. But I think I like this better because in this way all the concert cards will be together and all the incomplete cards will be together, and then we go into the Seasons Greeting cards. Yes, that works. Now, so far for the 13 tapes, like sort of solo release slash photo book release thing that 17 is doing. There have been 2 so far for Hoshi and Woozy, who are 2 members that I collect. And originally, I did buy Hoshi's 13 tapes, and I wasn't going to get the... I just kept the card that I pulled, and then I wasn't going to get the other ones. But then when I was planning this, and I realized, you know, there are 4 13 tapes photo cards total for Hoshi. It would fit perfectly on a 4-pocket page, and at that point, I had already decided that I was going to get all 4 of Woozy's. So at that point, I might as well get the remaining 3 for Hoshi and fill out this 4-pocket page, and then I will have the next 4 for Woozy. And the good news is I immediately went on the hunt for the remaining 3 Hoshi cards, and I actually managed to find them pretty easily. Like, it wasn't too huge of an ordeal. So I've already secured the remaining Hoshi cards. And then for Woozy, I actually bought 4 copies of 13 tapes for him, and I pulled 2 of the cards, and I've already traded for the other 2, and I think one of them has arrived and the other one will arrive soon. So in my next storing video, you'll see these cards for Woozy. And then since those are photo book photo cards, I thought it would be appropriate to continue with their other photo book, which is the Social Club photo book. And there are 4 cards per member for this photo book, so that is just perfect as far as I'm concerned. So here are, I'll go in age order. So here are Hoshi's Social Club photo book PCs. And then a page for Woozy. And lastly, Sungwon. And that is all of my non-album photo cards for 17. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. That was exactly the amount of photo card pages that I put in. I did not do that on purpose. Holy crap. Okay, that's amazing. Now, there are a few items that I want to store in here that would technically be like 1-pocket A5 pages, but I forgot to order 1-pocket pages in my first order, so I'm not going to be storing those. Instead, I will just store the 2-pocket items that I have. I keep forgetting these are side loading. So these are some Kino cards that I have. And these pockets are double-sided as well. I think I will store these back to back. And then I do like the back of these to some degree, so I'll leave this visible, and I'll put the Ataka Kino cards that I have next. All right, and those are all the items I can store without having 1-pocket pages. So let's go ahead and do a flip through of the 17 non-album binder as it stands so far. I think I really like this. I think it's so cute, and it makes me feel better about like how few non-album cards I have for them. It just feels appropriate to store them in this kind of layout in this small binder. I think it's really cute. And then I'll remove these later off camera. Okay. So that is the 17 non-album collection. Now I can get into setting up for a new collection. So in the beginning of this video, I did mention that this next A5 binder would be sort of for a new collection and sort of for a resurrection of an old collection. And what I mean by that is, you know, in earlier years, in earlier times of my collecting life, I guess, I sort of collected twice. Now, I didn't collect them with the same kind of intent that I collect a lot of my groups, which is like, you know, specifically targeting all album cards and like having a plan and trying to collect according to that plan. For Twice, I always sort of just had quite a lot of cards, but they were just cards that I liked, and I got them because I liked them, and that was that. And then eventually I decided, you know what, I will downsize to just a 9-pocket page for my top 3 biases. And then after that, I ended up deciding to downsize that collection entirely. But you know, when I was thinking of collections that I sort of miss and would enjoy collecting again in sort of a low pressure environment, Twice came to mind. And specifically, Sana. Now, Sana is my #1 bias in Twice and one of my favorite people in K-pop in general. And I don't know, I just couldn't help it. I decided, you know what, let me just plan out what it would look like if I stored Sana in an A5 binder, and let me see what that would be like. Because this binder, actually, I have had this binder for a long time because although I've never been really into storing photo cards in A5 binders, I've had A5 binders for a long time because I use them to store stickers because I'm very into stationery. For example, you know, here's one of my other A5 binders. And again, I have all these different pockets where I use it to store different stickers. And that is what, you know, I have typically used A5 binders for. So I had this one kicking around and I had stickers in it. But I thought, you know what? I have these pink dragon shield sleeves and it would look really good against this binder, you know? And I got carried away and I was like, what if I just went ahead and labeled a bunch of sleeves with Sana's collection, with what it would look like if I was to collect Sana. And maybe, you know, I wouldn't collect her entirely. I would leave out, because this is supposed to be a low pressure collection, I could leave out cards that I didn't like as much, and that would make it more fun for me. And so I've been living with this box of sleeves for like 3 weeks now, and this looks like a full box of sleeves, right? They are all labeled with cards for Sana's collection. These are it's a full box of sleeves. Like, that is insane. That is so many cards. And actually, when I put in the number of sleeves that it would need in this binder, it's quite full already. So I don't know if when I put the sleeves in, if it will be too full. And I have a plan B. And then after plan B, I also have a plan C, which I'll explain later, possibly. So if these sleeves don't fit, I do have a backup plan for how I'm going to store Sana in an A5 binder. So I will store all these and go over what I've decided to collect and not collect. And I might also store, I do have some Sana cards already because I bought 2 Formula of Love albums, the 2 versions that I like the most, and I pull a lot of Sana, and I was able to trade the rest for Sana as well. So I have a few cards already. So yeah, I'll probably put all the fillers in and then store those at the end. So first of all, For the Story Begins, there are 4 cards, but 2 of them are baby cards, and 1 is a unit. And I decided, you know what, when I was planning this layout, it kind of made sense to just only collect the solo card and not collect the unit or the baby cards. I don't know, it just made sense that way. I'm not a person that has anything particularly against baby cards. I know some people do. I don't feel that way. I don't hate them, but I don't love them either, and I just thought, you know what, if I don't love them, might as well just not collect them. And it worked out for the layout that I was planning to not include them. And similarly for page 2, there are 3 solo cards and 1 unit. And you know what, that's like 4, that's perfect. So for page 2, I won't collect the unit, and For the Story Begins, out of the 4 cards, I will only collect the solo card. And you can see them marked off because I've already purchased them. Twice cards are so cheap that, like, I don't know. I've already purchased a lot of these, so you will notice that. Next is Twice Coaster Lane 1. You'll also notice when I was planning this, I like alternated the color of the Post-its that I was using so that I could keep track of like how many pages I was using, and that was so helpful for planning this. You will also notice at the end that it kind of gets messed up because I ended up changing my mind and going back and changing the order that I had things in. But for the most part, I adhere to this for most of the collection planning. And again, with this collection, like the other collection, I won't use the back pages because I like to see the back of the cards. So for Twice Coaster Lane 1, I will collect all the cards, including the Christmas cards. Next, Twice Coaster Lane 1, there are 2 cards, and I will collect both of them. Twice Coaster Lane 2 is my favorite. Then Signal, there are 4 cards. It is a little frustrating that those 4 cards can't be on the same page, but 2 of them are kind of different, like far away shots compared to the 2 more selfie-like pictures, so it doesn't bother me too much because I can keep the 2 that are the same on a page with other selfies. This blue Signal card is one of my favorites, and I did used to own it. Actually, I think at the peak I probably owned like 20 Sana cards, and then I sold all of them, and now I'm gonna have to get them all back, and they were like all my favorites. But so that is a little frustrating, and that honestly would have prevented me from collecting Sana again, if not for the fact that Twice cards are so cheap. I used to collect Itsy OT5, and I did really love it, and I ended up giving up the entire collection because I couldn't decide what member to whittle it down to. It was 5 or nothing for me, so I ended up going for nothing. And there are times where I think, you know, I regret it and wish that I could go back and like collect Itsy OT5 again, but ultimately the price of the cards made me not want to have to go back and buy them again. Whereas with Twice, it doesn't hurt that bad because Twice cards are so cheap. Buying cards that I sold before doesn't like deeply pain me. Whereas for Itsy, it would hurt a little bit more. Especially for certain members. And yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I miss collecting Itsy, but ultimately I think collecting a full group isn't that sustainable for me. So I just have to accept that it was for the best. Here I'm putting in Twice-to-Gram and Merry and Happy, and each of those eras have 3 cards, and I will collect all 3 cards for both eras. Boy, I sure hope you can't hear my downstairs neighbor. Okay, now we get into the Twice eras that have lots of cards, like 9 or 10 cards per era. So this is What Is Love. And I believe I decided to, it's hard for me to remember because I literally set up this collection like a full month ago, I'm pretty sure. So as I'm filling this out, I'm like struggling to remember even what my decisions were when I decided like how to arrange this. In general, you'll notice that I'm not just putting like What Is Love, I'm putting like the specific What Is Love card that it was, because I did try to group together cards that were like in the same outfit or in the same, or have similar borders or like in the same place or whatever, stuff that I thought would aesthetically go together. And I do believe for What Is Love, I decided to collect the scratch card. And in general also, my policy on scratch cards is I like to scratch them. I know some people, oh, there's a cat here. I know some people like to leave them unscratched. I like to see what's under there. That's me. You will notice that when I store later in this video, if I have time to do that. You know what, I'll just do it. I'll just do it, I just decided. Oh yeah, here's the scratch card, which makes an odd number, and then we get into the Summer Nights cards. So I put the palm card here to fill this space, since it's like the concept card and the rest are selfie cards. It made sense to have the odd one out, you know, alone with the What Is Love scratch card. At least that was sort of my feeling about that. Summer Nights is another one of my favorite eras. If I was in general to talk about my favorite Twice eras, I think it kind of runs counter to what I typically hear from Twice fans. Like, I know that a lot of people really like Twice post their sort of mild shift in concept, if that makes sense. So like Fancy and After. But overwhelmingly, my favorite Twice eras are their early eras. My favorite Twice eras are all pre-Fancy, like no question. I will do a top 20 Twice songs video someday, and you will definitely notice my bias towards those earlier eras. I do like Fancy, but honestly, everything after Fancy, like, I know Feel Special is like a huge favorite among fans, and I don't like that song at all, to be honest. I don't like Feel Special, and I like I Can't Stop Me. I think that's the best song for me out of all their post Fancy and After songs, either I Can't Stop Me or Fancy. All the other ones I don't really enjoy that much, but their early eras are just unbeatable to me. Like, some of the best music that K-pop has ever offered, in my opinion. Now I'm putting in the yes or yes cards right now. And for yes or yes, so for What Is Love and Summer Nights, I'm collecting all of the cards. And then for yes or yes, I'm collecting everything except the hand card. You know what? Never liked the hand card. Don't see the point. So I just decided, you know what, I'll kick it out. I won't do the hand card. And then now we get into Year of Yes, and I will get all 5 Year of Yes cards. I do like those cards, and I know they are a bit more difficult than some other Twice eras, and it's frustrating because I know I've had like at least 3 of them over the years and then sold them. So that's frustrating that now I have to source them out again, but it's not that bad. They're not the worst cards Twice has, so yeah, I will live with it. Now I think it's time for Fancy, and I think I am collecting all 10 Fancy cards because all of the Fancy cards are sort of like normal selfie cards, I would call them. Okay, now we can get into Feel Special. So for Feel Special, there are a bunch of like normal, typical selfie cards, and then there is one card that is like, it's like gold, like metallic gold on the back and around the side. And I decided not to collect that card because I actually have owned that card before, and I never really liked it. Those cards are, for one, the photo in them is like I like the metallic nature of them, but the photo in the center of them is like a really, really far away shot from like the music video or something. And also those cards are super thin. If you've ever held one of those, yeah, it's just like if you've ever held one of those, it's just like it's a very odd material that it's made out of. It's very thin and flimsy, and I don't really like them. So I just decided, you know what, I just won't collect the gold card. And now we have More and More era. Fun fact, More and More is it's definitely, yeah, I don't know why I said probably. It's definitely, in terms of photo cards, my least favorite photo card era, and it's also my least favorite Twice title track. I don't like that song even a little bit. Especially not the whole dance break portion. I don't think it works at all. But for More and More, I will collect all of the selfie cards. And then there are a bunch of like unit and group cards. And I won't collect those. All right, and now we can get into Eyes Wide Open. Here is where you will notice that my fillers get all fucked up and not follow the system that I created, because I changed my mind on this multiple times in terms of like what cards I would collect for Eyes Wide Open. So yeah, you will notice things start to get a little fuzzy with the fillers here. I do really like I Can't Stop Me, both the song and the choreography. I definitely think it's probably the best of their fancy and after era songs for me. And for Eyes Wide Open, just like More and More, I'm just collecting the selfie cards. I originally was thinking that I would, because of the number of cards, I was thinking about collecting one group card for Eyes Wide Open to fill out like a pocket page in the right way. But what changed was that I bought those couple Formula of Love albums, and I pulled the group scratch card. And my understanding, I don't know that much about the twice trading market, but my limited understanding is that you cannot trade those Formula of Love group cards for anything. Like, you just can't get rid of them. So I just decided I would keep it and change the order that I would do things in so that I wouldn't need to collect one of the Eyes Wide Open group cards. So this is where that Eyes Wide Open group card would have gone, and instead I shifted things up. So I have one of the Taste of Love cards here instead, and then we get into Taste of Love. I really like the Taste of Love choreography. I actually watch it all the time. I don't love the song or Taste of Love choreography, alcohol-free choreography. I don't love the song alcohol-free, but I really like the choreography. Yeah, so obviously I like have fucked up the fillers here because I changed my mind at one point. And then last, the Taste of Love lenticular. And now we can do Formula of Love. So for Formula of Love, I decided to put that group card that I pulled here next to the Taste of Love lenticular. I don't know if this will hold, especially because I did decide to collect the scratch card as well, because I pulled Sana's scratch card also. But the backs of these are kind of similar, but with the color different. I don't know, I might rearrange this. I haven't decided. It might be nice to have them next to each other. Dog, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. In general, I'm collecting for Formula of Love all the selfie cards and the scratch card and the result file card. I am collecting that one. Not collecting the group cards except, uh-oh, there's a cat hair in here. Not collecting the group cards except for the scratch card that I pulled. And not collecting the IDs. I don't love IDs, so I thought, you know, why bother? If I'm only collecting things that I like, why do something like that? For Formula of Love, the albums that I bought, I cannot for the life of me remember the names of the versions, but I got the album versions that are, it's like red, it's a red cover and spine and the pink cover and spine. Those are the ones that I got. Those are my two favorite versions, whichever those are called. Okay, and then the result files at the end next to the study card, which it's the same like photo shoot version. And then I only have a couple sleeves to spare. I put in 30 sleeves. So that is pretty, I mean, pretty full, but I actually do think it does fit. So I don't know what I will do next time they have a comeback. Like I said, I have a plan B, which I didn't need to employ, my plan B was to kick out stickers from my sticker photocard albums and use those as photocard binders. And my plan C was So I don't need plan B. Plan C, for when this collection grows in the future, perhaps for the next comeback. So I ordered these like a Mifa brand pockets, but then later I also went on AliExpress and decided to order some Photocard sleeves from AliExpress just to see what kind of quality those were and to see what those were like. And at the same time that I did that, I also found a couple A5 binders that I thought were really cute. So I ordered those as well. So yeah, the binder that Sana is stored in might change in the future. In the meantime, I really like it because I think the colors go cute together. I think the peach thing and the juice is really cute, but that is my plan for now for Sana. Now that I have all the fillers in, I do have just a few photo cards that I figured I might as well go ahead and store while I'm here. So let's just go ahead and do that. I'll have even more Sana cards in my next photo card storing video, as you can see by the number of crossed out items that I have. But I just have a couple that I either like traded for or whatever in the meantime while waiting for my next package. I actually do already have both of the Twice Coaster Lane 1 Christmas cards. When I was looking at Sana's cards and deciding whether I should collect her or not, I obviously knew that as far as album cards go, the most expensive Twice cards are the Twice Coaster Lane 1 Christmas cards. And honestly, maybe it's because I'm used to like ridiculous NCT card prices, but I was like, wow, if those are the most expensive cards, those are really not that expensive. Like in terms of like, I mean, they're still expensive as far as like photo cards go, in my opinion, but compared to like NCT or other groups that I'm used to who have very expensive items, they're like album cards that go for, I got this pair of cards for $30 for the pair of them. And for fucking NCT, there are like single album cards that go for $30 or more than $30 for one. You might have to spend like $40 for one album card if you were to buy it, you know? So when I saw that, I was like, well, damn, I might as well just go ahead and get this now and get it over with and not have to, you know, I don't know, worry about it later. So I do have both of her Christmas cards, so that is quite a relief. The next card that I have currently is one of her Summer Nights cards. Dance the Night Away is one of my favorite eras. So I have her, the one with the sand border. Someone on Instagram traded something really random for this. I can't remember what it was. I just remember that I had listed some card with like trade for any wish list, and they offered this card for whatever it was. It might have even been a 17 card. I literally cannot remember. And then I have another card that was in a similar trade that I had posted for any wish list, and someone said that they had this card, and it is one of her Taste of Love cards. It is this one. Now I just have to figure out what I called it. It's not her drink card. I think it must be the dark card, because in this card she's holding up, it's certainly not the finger heart one. She's not holding up a finger heart. Her drink one, she's holding up some like cherries or something. And the flower one, she's holding up a flower. And this certainly, I think this one is in like not in shadow, and this one, oh wait, oh good God almighty, this one literally has an X. I marked it off already, so obviously it's this one. Forgive me, I'm tired. I had the longest work week. I was literally like getting home at like 10 or 11 like every single night this week. So like starting at a normal hour, like, well, I was leaving my house at like 6:30 and then coming home at like 10 or 11, which is not, I know some people that's normal, but that's not normal for me and my work because I work in an office. Anyway, I'm tired. So that is the Taste of Love card that I traded for. Then I have all the Formula of Love. I keep wanting to call it Flavor of Love because of that fucking, you know, the, was it on VH1 or MTV when I was in like middle school or something? The dating show for Flava Flav? Whatever. I keep wanting to call it Flavor of Love because I watched that show religiously when I was in like middle school. Anyway, that's entirely besides the point. So I have all these formula of love cards that I either pulled or traded for. So let me remember. I think first I decided to put the group scratch card, and per what I said earlier, I did scratch the thing on the back because that is my preference. And I like that I pulled this one because this is one of the album versions that I bought. This is one of my favorite versions. The styling honestly reminds me of Knock Knock, which is one of my favorite. I mean, it's like probably my favorite Twice era, both song and styling wise. So I really like that version. Then the Sana individual scratch card, which again, I kind of wish these were next to each other because the backs are the same. I don't know, I might rearrange it, who knows. Now Break It, which version is that? I think it's this one, right? Right? Hold on. Full of Love Glasses, which must be this one. Explosion Heart, Study is this one. Let's figure this out, hold on. Full of Love Glasses, Explosion. Okay, we've got it. This is the Break It version. And I think I planned this because the scratch card is in the same version as the Break It version, and she's got the same hair and everything, same makeup. So I think that was my plan. I might flip-flop these. I don't know. We will see in the future. And the Explosion version here. And Full of Love Glasses. And then as you can see, I already have the result file version, which is the same outfit as this. Okay, so the Sana collection is mostly fillers at this point, but in my next photocard storing video, as you might be able to tell by the number of X's that are in these fillers, I do have a pretty decent stack of cards that I will be storing for Sana. But this is gonna be really fun. I thought it might be a fun sort of like low pressure, cheaper collection that would be good to put in an A5 binder. And when I laid it out, her cards really did fit quite nicely in terms of like looking good aesthetically in a 4-pocket page. And I really enjoyed that. That was my biggest concern, is that it would look good like aesthetically or whatever, since that is a big motivation for me in terms of storing things. All right, so that is all my setup for my 2 A5 photocard binders, my 17 non-album collection and my Sana collection. I don't know if I'll expand this in the future or how I feel about it, but for now, I think it's really fun, and I don't know, I really like that I've set these up. I never, ever, ever thought that I would get into A5 binders, but I don't know, I really like this. I'm glad I did, and now that I've set it up, I think it's really cute, and I enjoy it kind of even more than I thought I would, so yeah, I'm really happy about that. So that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. My next one, my package from Japan from Bai that was stuck in customs for like 3 weeks, finally made it to me. So my next video will probably be another big photocard storing video. Look forward to that, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.